How many of you know Steven Pressfield here? Anybody? Oh, you guys know him, yeah? The War of Art. Anybody read the book, The War of Art? Yeah? Amazing book. I highly recommend it. You should all read The War of Art. So Steven Pressfield talks about this concept of following the resistance, right? We all feel resistance in our life. You want to do something, you want to take that big step, but then bam, the resistance kicks in. You start procrastinating, you feel some type of fear. Usually it's the fear of failure and fear of rejection. And often we try to stay away from this resistance. You feel that wall and you kind of stay away, not realizing that in many cases that wall that's being created in front of you could be actually the northern star guiding you where you should be going. So very often when we face certain fears, these are the things that we should be doing to take our lives to the next level. So very quick story, a few years ago, and you'll be surprised actually when I tell you this. A few years ago I went to the Himalayas, random adventure. I decided to embrace introspection. I really wanted to go within. So I wanted to go to 5,500 meters, and at some point I needed to acclimatize. So I was at 3.5K and I wanted to go to 4.6 and then go down. Now in my hubris, in my, I don't know, overconfidence, stupidity, whatever you call it, I left too late. But I really wanted to get there, so I just kept hiking and hiking like crazy. And eventually after many hours, I got to 4,600 meters. And then something interesting happened. When all the adrenaline was gone, when I finally arrived, I'm like, fuck, 4,600 meters, ice lake, great, bam, this happened. Anticipation, mystery, right? Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, oops. So I had this holy fucking shit moment when I got there and I realized that the weather is actually not that good anymore, and I realized that it's actually getting quite late. So you can see on my face I tried to kind of look cool, but I already know that I'm in a big trouble. You can see this, right? I have my raincoat, my Bosse headphones, and I had the shoes that you would normally wear to a party. And I'm a guy who actually has a travel hacking course, right? So, stupid mistake, really stupid mistake. So when that happened, what do? Well, you have to run away from the danger, right? So I started running down, and as I'm running down, like really panicking, feel the adrenaline pumping through my body, I hear poof, thunderstorm, right? I feel the fucking lightnings in the distance. Everything is getting really white and dark. Well, white, okay, it doesn't make sense in one sense, white and dark. You know what I mean, snowy and dark. And I realized, wow, like I'm in a big danger. And there's this one moment when this overwhelming feeling just came to me, and it wasn't even a thought. It was just a feeling that this is a real danger, right? This is something that could literally end my life. And people die in the Himalayas. Every single year people die. Shit happens, like this really happens. And I knew it. And then I got this feeling, okay, what are some of the other fears that are still holding me back, that are irrational, right? Are there any other fears that shouldn't be there, but they're holding me back, preventing me from living the life I've always wanted to live? And I had a big aha moment that I wasn't getting on enough stages and I wasn't doing enough podcasts. Actually, let me reframe it. I wasn't getting on any stages and I wasn't doing any podcasts because I was afraid. Now, the interesting thing was that at that point of my life, I already had best-selling courses out there. I was featured in different outlets. So I had the imposter syndrome, right? I got a little bit of success online and my brain kept telling me, what if people will find out that this is not the real you, right? Anybody had this ever, the imposter syndrome? Anyone? Wow, quite many of us, right? 25, 30%. So many of us struggle with this. You accomplish something and then you look in the mirror pondering, do I deserve it? Should I have it? And this is exactly what happened to me. So I realized that I have to get on a stage if I want to change my life. I can't be hiding all the time. And that situation, running down that mountain, made me realize that even though it's scary, I just have to fucking do it because this will not kill me, but it may kill my dreams, right? And juxtaposing it with this real-life threatening situation just made everything clear in my head. So what I did was I started getting on different stages. I started with small stages. It was really scary first time I got on the stage because I had a feeling that, again, people find out that I'm not as valuable of a person that, you know, they thought I was. But then, very quickly I graduated to bigger stages, couple of thousand people, tech conferences, Mindvalley, all types of different stages all over the world. And it's very interesting how it happened. And the truth is that if I didn't face that fear back then in the Himalayas, if I didn't have that aha moment, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be here right now. Because when I met Johannes and when he asked me to join the cruise, well, if I wouldn't be able to get on a stage, like, what could be my excuse? Yeah, man, I'm gonna join the cruise, but I'm not gonna speak. Why not? You gotta get on a stage. What would I say? You know what I would say? Sorry, I cannot join because I don't have the time. That would be my excuse. I wouldn't be here. So the question for you, because I know some of you can relate to this, many people are afraid of public speaking, but this applies to many other areas of life. So the question for you, what resistance do you experience? What is the resistance that you experience in your lives? And really think about it. Now, if this was a longer workshop, I would tell you, take 5 minutes, think about it. We don't have this much time, but really think about it. Later on, now this is the time to switch off and to ponder about your life. What resistance is holding you back? Is it possible that there is something that you are still afraid of, that you keep thinking about it? You keep thinking, I should take that step, I should do that one thing, whether it's starting the new project, quitting your job maybe it's public speaking, maybe writing a book, whatever it is, you feel the resistance, maybe, just maybe, it could be the Northern Star that should guide you, that should guide your actions. Maybe you should face that fear head on.